Hey everyone, this is a HappyAnimaidCafeManager here with another walkthrough episode for the game Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Justice for All. Glasses, but you aren't wearing glasses. That's enough. Your name, witness? Oh, is that how you want to play this? Sorry, yeah, I'm just watching the Black Friday trilogy of South Park in the South Park Studios website. Sorry about that. I don't know how the video started playing on its own. Anyway, back to this game. Using your power to influence to keep the young people down. I see how you work now. You old people and your dirty tricks. You thought you had me, but you thought wrong. I'm sorry, it won't happen again. Oh man, I forgive you. Alright, suppose I can tell you my name. I am Richard Wellington, the drifting virtuoso with a PhD in drifting, as it were. If you wanted to, you could call me a university student in transit. Mr. Wellington. On the day of the murder, you were strolling through the park, correct? It would appear that you are attached to that word. If you must, then by all means. But I remind you that I am no way a prepubescent boy out on a walk with mommy. If you must know, I am. Anyway, please testify to this court that what you saw during your walk through the park. See, you said it again. Taking a walk. You know you. What you witness will do, Mr. Wellington. What I saw that day. I was at the park all afternoon, deep in thought about my life situation. I don't remember the time all that well, but I do believe it was past 6 p.m. All of a sudden, a police officer falls up from above, right in front of my eyes. Without a thought, I looked up, and there I met the eyes of a charming young lady. Of course, I remember her sweet face. It was that of the pre-defendant there. The only thing I saw was the banana that fell out with the police officer. And that was certainly a decisive testimony. Decisive. Nick, did you hear what you just said? Yeah. That's all you have to say? How can you be so calm? It's strange. My mind is very calm and clear. Maybe it's because I believe in my client. You mean Maggie? Yes, and if she really is innocent, then that can only mean one thing. That guy is lying. You may now question the witness, Mr. Wright. I'll find out the truth, no matter how well you craft your lies. What I saw that day. I was at the park all afternoon, deep in thought about my life situation. I don't remember the time all that well, but I do believe it was past 6 p.m. How did you know what time it was? I see you're not wearing a watch, so... Is that the best you could do? Do you think you could discredit me like that? You're just a third-rate biased fool. I guess I can't expect real smarts from you. Grr. His arrogance is really intolerable, so what should I do now? Answer the question. How did you know what time it was? Tisk, tisk. I can't believe I have to deal with a worm like you. You're just a shallow man who can only slam on death and point at people for fun. I guess I don't have a choice. I'll try to explain it so that even a third-rate simpleton like you can understand. There was this little thing they call a clock at the park. Did you get that? Do you know what a clock is? It's a thing that tells you the time. As you can see, Mr. Wright, it's even in this picture of the crime scene. Oh, so it is. I looked at the clock and that's how I knew the time. But if you ask me, this whole concept from breaking a total nonsense of real first-rate class doesn't, ridiculous buffoon freely constraints that should be. And yet again, another flood of meaningless words. Talk about a first-class waste of time. In any case, you know, you don't really have to read all that. This guy's just to pump his ass. All of a sudden, a police officer falls up right above my eye. And how did you know he was a police officer? You obviously have no idea how powerful my deductive reasoning skills are. With one glance, I could tell just what kind of occupation he held. That shoddy do-it-yourself hairstyle, cheap low-quality shoes, and it was also I suppose it was also because he was wearing an officer's uniform? Shouldn't that statement have come first? Wow, that's pretty impressive. Hey, Nick, do you think he's figured out what I do? Even I haven't figured that out yet. Without a thought, I looked up and there I met the eyes of a charming young lady. Of course I remember, sweet. The banana? Well, it was actually more than just one. More like a bunch of bananas. Now that, what would a bunch of bananas be doing there? And why would I know such a thing? I'm only telling you what I saw. That's really strange. Maggie never mentioned anything about a bunch of bananas. That's it! Nick, he's gotta be lying about the bananas. He could be, but there's no reason for him to lie about there being bananas at the crime scene. And what if it's not a lie? Well, maybe he thought he was seeing one thing and it was something else. If he mistook something else for a bunch of bananas, then that would be an inaccuracy. Think, Phoenix, think. If my client is innocent, there is no way he could have seen what he says he did. Which means if he could somehow show he's lying, yeah, that's exactly what we need to do. She's right. She's got a sharp mind, but I just wish I could remember who she is. Is everything okay, Nick? Mr. Wellington, I believe I have the bananas you saw right here. Ah, so you knew about the bananas too. Why didn't you say so earlier? But don't you think you could use this? But don't think you could use this as a way to pull more information out of me? And that's where you'd be wrong. Mr. Wright, what is the meaning of this? Isn't that the baseball glove? Huh? What? A baseball glove? It doesn't look delicious. Care for a bite? That's not... It's a... No! Your Honor, I think this proves one very important fact. This witness... has bad eyesight. By the way, just how bad are your eyes? Huh? How... What? You... Why are you asking me about this all of a sudden? Your Honor, it is very simple to mistake a glove for a bunch of bananas. No, I don't think so. Objection overruled. You're one of those people. Yes, I know what I mean. You're like those people who refuse to accept Galileo. You're sure in the end we find out that in fact the glove is reviewed from afar. I don't think that's why I asked you how bad your eyesight is. You're both 20/20. I suppose you're going to tell me that's terrible, right? They're both 2200. I suppose you're going to tell me that's terrible, right? Why are you not wearing your glasses today then? That's because I lost them recently, you see. Of course, I was planning on getting a new pair made right away, but you know, my glasses are no ordinary glasses, so to replace them, how about when you witnessed the crime? Were you wearing your glasses then? How about it, witness? You are an unrelenting evil man. You're like those people who rejected a courage break. She was brave, and she didn't do anything. Yes. Which boils down to you were not wearing glasses at that time. Therefore, the identity of the woman at the scene of the crime and that of the defendant cannot be proven to be the same by this witness. But the height difference was only 9 feet. It was very possible for him to see the face of the culprit standing on the upper path. Witness, please be more accurate in your testimony. Remember, a person's life is at stake. Yes, Your Honor. Now then, please continue with your testimony. Please tell the court what happened next in the moment after you witnessed the crime. What happened next? The girl on the upper path realized I was there. After that, I immediately called the police station to report the crime. It must have been 6:45 p.m. when I made the call. They must have a lot of free time on their hands since they showed up within 10 minutes. So the person who was on the upper path you saw and then ran away. Yes, that is correct. Which is why even someone without superior brain like mine can understand that. That girl is the murderer. You may question the witness now, Mr. Wright. She ran away just like that? Yes, she did. She saw me and flew to the nest like a guilty bird she is. Oh, I'm sorry. Was that a pun too hard for someone who only got a third-rate education? Actually, that did take me a few seconds to get. Anyway, if she ran away the instant she saw you, how could you tell it was my client? Eek! The witness has already answered that question. He has stated that the defendant is the culprit. Is this true, Mr. Wright? I'm striking your question from the record. How can I get more information out of him? After that, I immediately called the police station to report the crime. It must have been 6:45 when I made the call. Time of death is at 6:28. It's hard to tell what time it is on that clock. Phoenix's business card. It's my business card. I hand wrote my cell phone number on the back. Names list. A list of con artists and their phone numbers stored on this cell phone Maggie found. Maggie found this in the park. She got in contact with its owner, but they never showed up. Let's see. It's possible he called the police because there's a phone booth. They must have a lot of free time on their hands since they showed up within 10 minutes. So you're saying that there were police on the scene by 7 p.m.? They got there before that, I think. There usually aren't many people in that area at that time of day. But suddenly, before I knew it, there were people crawling all over Gawking. It certainly says something about the morals of the people in this country. I can't find anything out of the ordinary in his testimony. Why don't you take one more look at the court records? Yeah, I guess I should. Immediately, 6:45 when I made the call. Is that really the best he could do? How do you know what time it was? That detective told me. You know which one I mean. The one with the jacket that makes him look like a dropout from a no-name high school. Hey, pal, I graduated from a top-ranked college. I don't believe this. It doesn't matter. I don't believe I was mistaken on what time I called. In And if I am wrong, then that detective obviously doesn't know how to tell time. What? Why you? You're just some lousy kid who... I think the court could see your point anyway. How did the police respond? They must have a lot of free time on their hands since they showed up within 10 minutes. Oh, Thompson. If it's immediately, then... Well, what was he doing in the 17 minutes? Mr. Wellington, would you please take a look at this? You mean the victim's autopsy report? According to this, the murder occurred at 6:28 p.m. So what of it? You said you called the police immediately after the murder took place. However, by the time you had called the police, it was already 6:45 p.m. There is clearly a 15-minute gap here. Do you deny it? It's more like a 17-minute gap. I think this court would like to hear what you were doing during this 15-minute gap. The witness was in shock at the time after witnessing a terrible murder. It's only to be expected that he would be a little dazed. 15 minutes is hardly what I would call a little dazed. Mr. Wellington? Yes? Explain yourself. What were you doing during those 15 minutes? Answer the question. 15 minutes. Oh, no, now I get it. If Mr. Wellington were to call the police in between 6:28 and he could, the victim died at 6:28 and Wellington called the police at 6:45, it would take him a couple minutes to write the name. It would take him... All he would need is 15 minutes to 15 to 17 minutes to forge a crime scene. So, answer the question. Telephone. Spit it out. I was searching for a phone booth. A phone booth. You mean you don't have a cell phone? You and your question. As if you're trying to open all the layers of the Matryoshka doll. Of a Matryoshka doll. You must think you're really something special. Witness. I lost my cell phone. There, are you happy? You lost it. You lost it. Unbelievable. You lose your glasses and your cell phone? You must be very scatterbrained when it comes to your belongings. What are you saying that first-rate people are never allowed to lose things? Have you ever heard that thing? By rationale, I don't think it's simple. Plain people like you are... Enough! Oh man. Wait, hold on a second. He lost his cell phone? Nick, that cell phone, could it be? You mean this phone Maggie found out? There's no way. Boy, I didn't see this coming. What should I do now? Question further. Mr. Wellington, where's your cell phone right now? What are you getting all excited about? You seem to be a little confused. I found my cell phone. I'll have you know. See, here it is. Oh, I see. Looks like he's got his phone. And I thought that just maybe this was his. Well then, I think we've cleared this issue up. At the time of the murder, the witness did not have his cell phone because he had lost it. Therefore, the delay in his call was caused by his search for a phone booth. Well, that's the gist of it. I guess you could put it that way and leave it at that. Do you have any further questions, Mr. Wright? There is something. Your Honor, the witness testimony does not make sense. I don't believe that there was ever a need for the witness to search for a phone. How dare you? You can't just make outrageous claims like that. You have some sort of proof, don't you? Well, yeah. Of course. This evidence should be good enough, I think. Alright, let's have this proof then. Please present proof that the witness had no need to search for a public phone booth. It was at the crime scene. It's quite simple, actually. Please take a look at this. At the crime scene photo, there is a problem with it. Is there a problem with it? Oh, there's nothing wrong with the picture. But if you don't understand my logic after looking at it, something is wrong with you. No! It's a phone booth. That is correct. All the defendant had to do was walk 3 steps. Mr. Wellington, why did you not use the phone that was right in front of you? Oh, good. Order. Well, what does reporting the crime have a... Well, what does reporting the crime a little late prove for you? The witness can't explain what he was doing for those 15 minutes. That is reason enough to throw suspicion on his testimony. Yes, this is very true. What do you have to say for yourself, witness? Then I bet his phone really is his, Nick. He must have killed Dustin to get his phone back. But Maggie said that she was going to return it to him. So there was no reason for him to kill for it. And on top of that, we still have the phone she found anyway. But if he wasn't looking for his cell phone, was he looking for something else? Was he? Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? Do you have any thoughts on what you would like to share with the court? Can you offer an explanation as to what the witness was doing during those 15 minutes? Yes, I have an idea. There is only one possible explanation. Alright, let's hear your explanation. However, be forewarned that if your explanation is not persuasive, you will be penalized. Think carefully before you present, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. I probably shouldn't have said that there was one possibility. There was only one possibility. Please present to the court, though, one piece of evidence that will answer the following. Why didn't the witness call the police right away? Perhaps this is the evidence you need to be convinced. Perhaps? That was just an idea. I thought I'd throw it out. I suggested that perhaps should be find a better piece of evidence. Yes, of course, Your Honor. Well then. But before you do, you will be penalized. Youch. Ouch. Why didn't the police call the witness right away? Perhaps this is the evidence you need because... What? Not again! Man, this is harder than I thought. Alright. Let's see, Maya... She should be 18 by now, right? I don't remember who she is, but I get the feeling I know her. Richard Wellington, age 22, a self-proclaimed drifting virtuoso who is still looking for the right college. Evidence. Why didn't the witness call the police right away? Attorney's badge. It's my all-important badge. It shows that I'm a defense attorney. Why didn't he call the police right away? I don't know how many chances do I have here, but... Also covered in bruises. Mr. Wellington? What? Don't do that. You almost made me have a heart attack. These are your glasses, aren't they? Where did you find... Yeah! I believe the court all heard what you just confessed to. that these glasses are in fact yours. I'll tell you where they were found, Mr. Wellington. These glasses were found under the victim's body. Under the victim's body? Order! Now, wait a second. Hold on. I didn't confess to or confirm anything. Your Honor, I think the answer is quite clear here. As he fell, dust and prints grabbed the culprit's glasses, and the culprit knew that he had to find his glasses and search frantically for them. He didn't realize was that they were under the victim's body, and that's why it took him 15 minutes to make that call. Man, was I wrong about my last statement? Mr. Wright, are you indicating that the witness is the real murderer? Of course, that's precisely what I am doing. I know, I'm right. He is the real murderer. Did you figure it out, Nick? More or less. It turns out that this cell phone was the key to this case after all. Anyway, now is our chance to fix this guy. I'll sink him in one shot. Yeah. This is so exciting watching you work again. Somehow, my old self is coming back to me. It's time to sink or swim. Everything rests on the edge of a knife. This is the moment I've been waiting for. Order! Your Honor, the defense is making a mockery of this court. Without any solid ground to stand on, he accuses the witness of being the murderer. Yeah, that's right. I'm no criminal. This third-rate fraud of a lawyer. In fact, in that case, why don't we look at it from a different perspective? Let's hear an explanation as to why you are not the murderer. Why? That's easy. For example, there's the name the victim wrote. What about that? You mean the name Maggie? Yeah, even an idiot like you could read that, right? Well, we already know that this was not written by the victim himself. After all, the defendant's name is Maggie with an E-Y, and the victim was left-handed. So basically, you're saying that in order to make the defendant look guilty, the real criminal used the victim's right hand to write her name on the ground. But wouldn't that mean that the real criminal was someone the defendant knew? Otherwise, how else would the person know her name was Maggie or Maggie? That is a good point. The witness didn't even know of Miss Bird before this trial. I forgot. Was there any way this creep could have known Maggie's name beforehand? There was a way. It would be best if I could prove that the witness had a chance to learn that the defendant's name was Maggie. Now, will the defense please present its case? How could the witness have known the defendant's name? Well, Mr. Wellington, you didn't have your cell phone with you on the day of the murder, correct? So what if I didn't? When you realized you had lost it, what did you do? What did I do? Didn't you try to find it by calling it? Why you? How did you? Your Honor, these questions have nothing to do with the overruled. Mr. Wright, where are you going with this line of questioning? Do you think there is some relation between this witness' cell phone and the murder? I do, Your Honor. On the day of the murder, Maggie Bird picked up a lost phone in the park. And she also received a phone call from the owner of the phone. Well, thanks for watching. Until next time, to be continued, baby. This is going to take a while.